G'day crew and welcome to another overnight adventure. In this video I'm going to chase some live bait to start with, and then the plan is to have a look around, see where I can fish, but focus in on the West Peel artificial reef for the evening. Plan to fish on into the night this time. Hopefully I'll stay awake long enough to make it worthwhile, and then I'll probably go and anchor up in Horseshoe Bay for the night. Got a fair few hints and tips as I go through the video, so pay attention to them, they pop up all over the screen. And I've got a bit to talk about after the main action is over. There's a chapter index down in the video description if you want to skip around in it. I'm already out. I've dropped the 2 pots in. That's Cleveland over there in the distance. Getting a bit of a sunrise now, and I'm heading up to see if I can get some cuttlefish for bait. See how we go with that, and I'll probably chase some livies as well, some herring or something, see what's around, and then I'll go for a fish. A few cuttlefish for bait, that's good. I've got just the 3rd one. Coming a bit quicker than last time, so you squirt me. There we go, it's a big one. Beautiful colours. Well, got me a little bit, but not, still over the net though. Could have been a lot worse, that. Not too bad. Just down again and clean up. A bit easier this time than they were last time I was out. Pointing away, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, don't like you rolling over like that. No, it's better. Yeah, nice coloured one again. Beautiful colours on them. They are quite pretty, even if they are messy. There's another nice big one. Don't you go inking this way, will you? There you go. Yep. You went in the right direction anyway. It's not weed. These blokes a bit more fresh water. Some bait species are pretty delicate, and any that jump up onto the floor are not likely to last as long as the others. So try to pick them up as quickly as possible if it happens. Oh, come here. Stick me bloody thing. Always use a dehooker because some bait fish, particularly herrings, don't like being handled. They lose scales and they die very quickly. I find it best to grab the sinker as it comes up and hold that in the same hand that's holding the rod. That leaves my right hand free to grab the dehooker and get the fish off. Experiment with technique until you find something that works for you. I don't know if you'll see it. I've got a livie on here. He doesn't want to go down. He's swimming around on the surface, or maybe a few inches below the surface. Got my old favourite click sinker. I'll whack one of them on the line, send it down with that. There we go. That'll give him an incentive to go down. Not horribly big, but oh yeah. Oh, alright, you're getting a bit excited now. He's up on the surface. What is he? Shark. Shark. He feels like a shark. Yep, that's what he is. Oh, he hooked that. Oh, well, okay. You win. I didn't get it back. Nothing really big, even though he took the wide bait. Another shark, is it? No? No? A tailor, I think. Yeah. I'll take him. Give you a measure. Oh, are you short? You are too, you bugger. Actually, I think you're legal. Give you a proper measure out and see how you go there. Oh, you bastard bloody thing. Bit me. Oh, he's out then. That was a good move and very unexpected. Let's get a band-aid on that. Oh, it's going to bleed everywhere. Oh, okay, well something came and got him and missed the hook. I'll put you away for barely later. Your mates have been popular. Let's hope you are too. I'm sorry I missed the action on this. It turned out to be a really good tailor. I estimate it was a good bit over 50 centimetres in size. Really nice one. But I turned the camera off accidentally. I got it to the bait. I got the net out. I almost had the net underneath it and it bit the line off. I made a lunge with the net trying to get it under it before it could swim away, but didn't quite make it. I felt the net touch it, but he just got away. It was typical for the day's fishing. A lot of fun, a lot of action, but not much in the bait. Bit better fish this time. Oh, bit me off. I'll pull the hook one of the two. Pull the hook. Bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Huh. Bang. And this is small. Yeah, let's see what he is. Oh, another bloody grinner. Oh, jeez. Dang, I'm good at catching these. Don't appreciate you taking my right bait like that, though. Oh, shit. Well, something had another go at this and missed the hooks again. Oh, he's only just been hit too. Wonder if he was hit on the way in, because he's still alive. He's still alive. Huh. Must have been hit on the way in. Oh, bloody hell again. Lost the lot again. Damn. Damn. Okay. Well, this fella got eaten on the way up. Something down there eating. Came up live bait, and that's all I got. See if I can hang on to this one. Ooh. Oh, bloody hell again. Yep, bit it off. The sunset from the West Peel artificial reef is looking pretty magnificent. Just wish I could land a fish instead of being bitten off or broken off or lose them at the boat. Haven't had a real good run. I went into Horseshoe Bay for the evening and I anchored up shallow again just in case the wind came up, but it didn't on that night. I took it really slow going in because there was no moon, a lot of cloud cover, very little light to see what was happening, and I'd just encountered the boat without lights the previous trip, so I was ultra cautious that didn't happen again, and I wanted to be able to see if there was any unlit boat before I got too close to it. Anyway, by the time I got in and anchored up, it was after 9 o'clock. I pretty much went straight to bed. Didn't even worry about trying to catch some live bait on the underwater lights. Yeah, that sunrise is just getting better and better. Actually landing a fish on the boat's the only thing that could improve it. On one this morning. I think it's small enough to get in. Oh, nice tail. Okay. Yeah, let's see what's happening with this other line. I think he's snagged. No, he's not. Sure. Didn't take a hook. Well, we'll get fresh livie on him. And his brains break himself. Just as well as legal. Nice 40 bit. Yeah, 40 and a bit. The next day was just more of the same, bite-offs and pulled hooks. Wasn't my weekend for fishing, obviously. So I'll just go through the track here that I followed. Came out of Raby Bay, dropped the pots and went up to look for some cuttlefish. You can see where the concentration of drift lines is where I was hunting for the cuttlefish. Then I headed over to Harries to have a look and see if there's anything to use the cuttlefish on there. Being a Friday, I was very surprised to see that Harries was quite crowded. Just about every mark I had a boat on it. Some of them had a couple of boats really close together on it. So I don't like fishing in a crowd like that. I headed on through and I went up to the Rouse Knob, had a bit of a look around there, picked up some live bait there, but didn't see anything by way of big fish to get me all excited about staying there. So I came back out and had another run through Harries to see if I could find anything that was off the marks. Didn't see anything. Went on down, had a quick look through the West Peel Artificial Reef, and given the tide, I went and had a fish in on the Peel Reef at Southwest Rocks. Headed over to Goat to have a bit of a look around there, and then came back to the West Peel Artificial Reef to settle in for the afternoon and evening fishing. After that, headed into Horseshoe Bay, went in really shallow to anchor up. Next morning, back to the West Peel Artificial Reef to see if I could do any better, more of the same, and then back to pick up the pots and head home. Really, really nice time on the water, but not so productive, at least not for fish. Oh, it's a bit heavy. The hat cam always beeps when it runs out of batteries, but I didn't hear it this time, so we've only got the dash cam to pick up the action of the crabs. I thought you'd see me measuring them because there was such a lot of really, really big sand crabs in that lot. And I mean, some of them would have passed for mud crabs, they were that big. Huge. Did get a few smaller ones in there. They're almost all legal, but most of them were huge. All nice and full. Ended up getting 23 all up in the two pots that were legal, plus some jennies and smaller ones that I threw back, and I'd say I had to throw 3 legal crabs back. Doesn't happen all that often, particularly not with 2 pots, but they are thick at the moment. You're a Jenny. Between you two. Yeah, well, sorry with the 2 ball hit. Bagged out the 2 pots. There we go. Well, that's what I came home with, 20 crabs out of 2 pots, and I threw a couple back. I managed to get 1 fish on board. And I had a lot of fights with the fish, but yeah, they're just too big for me. Lost a tailer at the boat, which is a good bit bigger than this one. And a couple of 3 grinners for crab bait next time. One of the cuttlefish I had for live bait was still alive at the end of it and hadn't been used, so I brought him home for some calamari. Nice big crabs too, all of them. Huge. Some of them are just huge. You saw that when I measured them. Anyway, that's it. Plenty of crabs around middle of winter. Last episode, a subscriber asked me if I'd seen any structure at the West Peel Artificial Reef, because apparently he hadn't on his sounder. So while I was out this time, I took some screenshots on the Hummingbird. I took them on the Hummingbird because it's got a 1 megahertz transducer on it, and it gives the clearest pictures of the structure. So this is them here. I'll just let them play through. Some of the structure's quite small, some bits larger, but all of it holds fish at various times. If there's no fish on one piece of structure, have a look at another. There'll be some around somewhere, depending on the tide, of course, and conditions. I'm just going to do another section here on looking at fish schools in my different sounders. I don't have a video feed on the hummingbird sounder, so I can't set that up for comparative video, but I have got video on the Time Zero unit and on the Furuno TZ3. So what I've got set up here is the Furuno TZ3. You can see the data panel on the left-hand side, where it shows the speed over ground, the depth, etc. And on the top right-hand side, you can see the panel from the 1 kilowatt TM260 transducer. That's a chirp transducer. It picks out the fish nicely. The other three panels you see are from the B56 transducer, which has the DFF3D unit on it. And the DFF3D unit does all the processing of the signal and then sends it on to the Time Zero, which is running on an i7 PC. So it's got a fair bit of processing power in it. It can process that signal again and make a pretty good picture of it. I've explained it all before. On the TZ3, the top left panel shows a sort of a fan-shaped slice through the water. It's like an A-scope looking at a wider angle through the water. That's about a 120-degree angle of the beam we're looking at. It's a very thin beam front to back, so you're just seeing the fish as they flash through it, as you would in the A-scope on a normal transducer. Below that is the side vision. I haven't got that tuned in very well. And at the bottom right-hand corner is the three views, the left-hand side, the centre and the right-hand side, which correspond to the three views you see in the top left-hand corner. However, they show the history of it, or short history, because you only got a third of the screen to see it in, but they're showing a little bit of a history of what's passing through it. And I'll just let some of these play so you can see what the schools look like. The important thing to recognise is that most of this stuff is bait schools. You're seeing arches on the bait where they're a little bit further apart. You just see the blob of the bait school when you're all compacted up together, but you are seeing some arches by virtue of the fact that these are pretty good transducers and we're going very, very slowly. You'll see that I'm doing less than 1 knot in a lot of these shots. The one I'm looking at the moment as I'm talking, I'm doing 0.6 knots speed over ground. That lets the fish stay in the beam a lot longer and gives you the more pronounced arch shape, which is one of the reasons you can't, or I can't, tell the size of a fish just by looking at the return on the sounder. The slower you go, the larger it looks. If you're going fast, you see this little dot there, and it might be a huge fish, but because you're going through the beam so fast, it only shows up as a small dot. Yet a bait fish can show up as quite a long arch if you're going very slowly over it. So just something to bear in mind when you're interpreting your sounder. And that's the whole purpose of putting some of these up there and letting you look at them, is so you can get a bit of a feel for what you're looking at. For the most part, what I'm going over here is bait schools. You'll see some where I think there was a predator or two amongst them, but for the most part, it's bait fish. When I get some really good shots of the predators, I'll put them up in later videos. It takes a long time to find them in the video because I've got like 20 odd hours of video to go through here and pick out a few shots that I want to show you, so it's a very time consuming process. And that's it for this video. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to go back and check anything out, there's a chapter list in the video description below. If you want to purchase any of the things that I've been using, like the de-hooker and sabiki rigs, there's also some links to get them online in the description below. Just click on the More button to expand the description and you'll see it all. Snapper season's closed now, so pearl perch, they're closed until the 15th of August, or midnight on the 15th of August, so you can't target them until the 16th of August. I'll be going out fishing before that. I don't think I can stay on shore for that long, not again. I'll definitely go and hunt something else. I don't know what yet. Might go for a whiting fish. I haven't done that for many years. Or maybe I'll just do a video of the bay, fly my drone, send the underwater drone down and put up something on that. See what happens. Until then, good fishing.